When you think about leadership, leaders have our most precious resource that they have an impact on every day, and that's our people within any organization. And they have the opportunity to build confidence, to create engagement, and to help people with their careers and help the organization through that. But ultimately, they also have the capability of being very destructive to an individual's confidence and actually even impact their personal life. And because of that, to me, I think every organization should have leadership effectiveness as one of their top priorities. So a lot of times people will think taking one training course is their element of an annual development plan. And absolutely, training will have a good part of your development plan, but it shouldn't be your primary focus. So when you think of a development plan, and the next slide we'll talk about this, it should be really focused on your experiences. I always make a joke a lot at work where I say none of us got to a leadership role by going to a training class or one seminar. We got there through opportunities and experiences that stretched ourselves and taking those opportunities to help that growth. When you think about development, it's the 70-20-10 rule. So I mentioned about experiences. Your development is going to come from those stretch opportunities, getting opportunities to really stretch your strengths and do new and different things. 20% of that then is going to be about exposure, utilizing your network, getting time in meetings with potential leaderships, using the matrix of your organization potentially to expand who the people are you know and learn from them, mentors, coaches, things of that nature as well. And then 10% of that is almost supplemented by things of training that will hopefully supplement the other two elements of that as well. When you're thinking about where you maybe want to be in 5 years or 10 years, if you're not looking at it from a longer term perspective, you're literally putting somebody else in the driver's seat and you're letting them drive you to their destination. And I might be a bit of a control freak, but I want to drive to my own destination. So it's being a bit more purposeful about that and ensuring that I'm putting myself in that driver's seat as well. Sometimes I do hear this a lot. Why am I doing a development plan? I'm really great at my job. I love what I'm doing. I'm happy as can be. And I've had years that I've liked that, but there are always something that can be going on that you can be doing differently. And an example I'll use is probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I might have been slightly a workaholic in that I probably averaged 60 hours a week. I had a big remit. I supported over 1,000 employees globally for a very, very high growth organization. And I thought that I was soaring. And I got myself close to burnout because I wasn't really thinking about my own impact and my own development. But what happened is when I realized that my development plan that year wasn't about how I was going to get to the next level. It wasn't about the impact I was going to make over here. It was about rejigging my own wellness and my own balance with life and reprioritizing that so that I was not getting myself so close to burnout. I was focused on quality delivery rather than quantity, which was something I had let take over. And because of that, I was able to have a much more impact in a given year's time. And guess what? I feel a lot better wellness-wise because I did that. And a lot of times when people build a development plan, guess what they do? They focus on their gaps or their opportunities, which is basically HR talk for weaknesses. And that's okay to include where you might have a gap in there, but it shouldn't be your main focus of your development plan. Yes, manage your weaknesses, manage your opportunities, make sure they don't become derailers, but use your development plan to excel in those natural abilities of yours. If the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster.